Hey everyone, this is TJ and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast, and welcome to the another episode of Reliving the 80s Classics, where I currently cover Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling on a weekly basis. So today we are gonna discuss and review the 2nd January 1982 episode. We are officially done with the 1981, and this show was taped on 30th December 1981 as usual at WPCQ TV studios at Charlotte, North Carolina. So guys, if you enjoy this review, please make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more wrestling reviews and like this. And so we get into this review, guys. Bob Caudle and David Crockett are on commentary as usual, and they announce it first that the fans will decide who contributed the most to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling in 1981. So kind of a voting who is the best superstar of the year kind of thing, because we are on to the new year, so they will have fans have some voting system awarding the winning wrestler, something that they will later announce, they said. And we get to the first match then. Jake the Snake Roberts and Jay Youngblood versus Chris Markov and Mike Miller, a tag team match. We know that how good of Jake the Snake Roberts and Jay Youngblood are so much have continuity and so much cohesion of a tag team they were. This was a really long match where the result kind of was predictable, so that uh, kind of hurted this match, I would say. But nonetheless, both had a very good performance. Both tag teams had a very good performance, where Chris Markov and Mike Miller were kind of the heels, and they were the ones who had the power and strength that they possessed. Jake the Snake Roberts and Jay Blood were kind of cashing in on the speed and quickness that they possess, and having frequent tags. And that was the story here. Nothing about nothing other than that. And having a good tag team wrestling that we saw here. And in the end of this match, we saw Youngblood fighting back and forth, chopping down Chris Markov, and he finally tags in Roberts, and Roberts comes in and punches away at Miller. Roberts tags in Youngblood and hits a double chop at Miller. Youngblood then tags in Roberts and catches Miller. So the story of this match, they were too fast and too quick, that and it was and that got them into the victory. And it was a kind of predictable, I would say, because they are being the top tag team, I mean top superstars at that time on Mid-Atlantic area. So they Youngblood then tags in Roberts and catches Miller with a knee lift, his kind of a signature that he do. Kind of a finisher as well sometimes, and gets a pin. And that was this match, a good match, certainly a long match, I would say, that because of the predictability factor, as I said. And we saw a Roddy Piper segment, and he shows up to talk to Bob Caudle, and he talks about how fans are going to vote on who contributed the most in 1981. And Piper then buries everyone, including Ric Flair, who was the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion at that time. He talks about how he held the NWA TV title, US Championship, and currently he is a Mid-Atlantic champion, I think so. Yeah. Ric Flair is the NWA champion, yeah, and was an NWA World Heavyweight Champion at that time. Roddy Piper was Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship and champion in 1981, and he says all of his accomplishment of all of the titles that he held in 1981, the TV champion, the US Championship, and currently the Mid-Atlantic title. He asked if the fans have enough guts to kind of swallow that pride and vote for him. If they have guts to vote for him, because he thinks that he's possessed. I am all for Roddy Piper, I would say. There's certainly no doubt that he was one of the superstar of the year, you can say that. And he says that he might have a big mouth, but he's perfect in so many other ways, he says. And that ends the promo. It's always fun to listen Roddy Piper for however long time, and that was this short promo, short segment for Roddy Piper, and one of the highlight of the show, I would say. And matches were kind of off in this week's episode, because kind of okay matches, and nothing very pacey in the manner where they kind of was entertaining or fun. And we get to Russian Bear Ivan Koloff versus Ron Sexton for the NWA television title. As always, the title will be on the line only for 15 minutes. Post that, the title will be on not on the line. So the Ivan Koloff matches have been squash matches, and they sometimes so for so many weeks they actually had very short squash matches for Ivan Koloff, and now it's getting kind of an extendable squash for 2 3 weeks right now. And this was not a very competitive match. Ivan Koloff was completely controlling Ron Sexton with control segments and with many maneuvers, and but Ron Sexton got some here and there offense here in the beginning, but Ivan Koloff then completely dominated this match, controlling him, knee dropping him, face locking him for a extended amount of segment, attacking on the back of Sexton. So that was the story here, damaging the back of Ron Sexton and as much as possible. And finally, commentators were looking on when he would be finishing. And one of my favorite finishers that we aren't seeing right now, and that's Ivan Koloff climb to the top rope and grab hold of Sexton's head and places his knee on the back and just drives him on the head and to the mat. And that's a very lethal and nasty finisher, as I've said. And Koloff gets a pin. That's the match. And next, we saw promos for upcoming shows in the Mid Atlantic area, where Super Destroyer talks about his match against Jay Youngblood, which is coming. Where if Super D loses, he will unmask, but if Youngblood loses, he must leave town. He says. Lord Alfred Hayes also comes up and talks about upcoming lumberjack match against Johnny Weaver, but he tells the announcer that a Super Destroyer would not be pleased if he heard him called Super D. And Ivan Koloff then comes up and talked about defending the TV title against Jimmy Valiant, and he complains that Valiant always breaks the rules. So that was this promo for upcoming weeks. So that we are seeing this kind of promos for many weeks right now. So they are continuing it, and it's fun. Sometimes there's good promos that being cut by faces or heels. And next we get to the Ray Cooper Stevens versus Tony Russo. The only match I was kind of a fun, I would say, because Stevens and Russo very fun to watch wrestler, especially Stevens, and both have a kind of a same kind of a figure, a physical figure, you can say that. And yeah, but certainly, the both of them were very good in the mat-based wrestling, and both of them were so bulked up and so heavyweight wrestler. Yet they were so much pleasant and so much smoothly they were working out the match with controls, head scissors, and all, and some good wrestling and right there. And it was a race even match where it was a neck-to-neck match first for initial minutes, some minutes, and finally Ray Steven gets Russo in the corner, lands a few right hands and elbows on him. He backdrops Russo off the ropes and then drops a few knees across Russo's chest. And Stevens get Russo with a pile driver and got the victory. He wins, but decides to drop a knee after the match just to have that. Have that I have got the victory kind of thing. And yeah, and that's a match, a good match, I would say, short match, and I like this match, I would say. And we get the next segment with Jake the Snake Roberts joining Bob Caudle and says he spent the holidays with his family, and he talks about a hog at the family farm and said the hog reminds him of Ole Anderson because Ole Anderson just running from him. And Blackjack Mulligan Jr. Also comes up and he talks about chasing after Sergeant Slaughter's US title. And because they didn't didn't said last week where they actually had the Cobra Clutch challenge. They did say that did say to Sergeant Slaughter that what's the status of Cobra Clutch challenge, but Sergeant Slaughter said that it's again up and anyone can challenge him. But commentators said that this Blackjack Mulligan Jr. had already fighted off it, and but they didn't said that he's a victorious or something. They didn't continue that story. I really really wanted that story to be continued, but they didn't do it. And I don't think so either. For it's kind of lost, and I don't think so they're going to continue. And so Mulligan Jr. is going for the US title, so that's another thing. And he also says Slaughter is getting scared. And Ray Stevenson commit still has the NWA World Tag Team title belt that he took from the Andersons, if you remember, and because of how he sacrificed him. So that's what the thing, because of Ray Stevens got the hands on the on Dev Anderson's belt, tag team belt. He says only one Ole can take the belt from his to go through him, and gives credit to Ole Anderson, for being a tough man, but he was to put an end to Ole Anderson. So they kind of not having the face off, not having the match. I don't think so. These big matches or something, they are going to play out in these TV episodes, because I haven't seen in the 4 months, like I started to watch this Mid Atlantic from 1981 September month. So I haven't seen any kind of big matches that I have seen. So let's see how it goes. And we get to the next match, Blackjack Mulligan Jr. versus Bill Knight. So this was also kind of a predictable match. Mulligan Jr. getting the victory here, and very slow match, I would say. A very long match, and wasn't fun, and it was very controllable manner. And Sergeant Slaughter also comes up, kind of made interesting the commentary as well. And that was the time when he was asked by Bob Cardin and David Crockett about the Cobra Clutch challenge, and he also insists Mulligan Jr., who keeps looking over at him, and whips Mulligan Jr. into the ropes, and gets up. So kind of a rivalry they are continuing with. So lots of little things that they happened, but wasn't very interesting that way that they had. And in the end of this match, we saw Mulligan Jr. getting White with a drop kick, and then follows with a flying forearm. Blackjack Mulligan Jr. then gets a pin on White after the bulldog, and Sergeant Slaughter leaves as Mulligan Jr. They were kind of staring down, and fans were hooting for them. And that was this match. So the matches were kind of off, as I said, but it's nowhere kind of you cannot watch it. It's a okay show, as I said. And we get to promos for upcoming show. Johnny Weaver talk about lumberjack match against Lord Hayes. Youngblood talking about the high stick match against Super D. Jay even says that if Super D beats him, that not only will he leave the town, but he'll cut his hair as well. That's one hell of a thing that they are doing it. Yeah. And Sergeant Slaughter and Private Jim Nelson versus Terry Taylor and Mike Davis was a main event of the show. And Sergeant Slaughter, Private Jim Nelson, they are the they are the kind of a tag team. They are the tag team where the way they are kind of booked very well. And so this was also a predictable match. But I know that I'm using this word so much, predictable because it's a predictable match, but certainly it wasn't very challenging match they had in this. So never as I felt like Taylor and Davis are gonna get the victory here. But a very long match, a really long match, felt kind of a dragged down match, I would say. But fans were quite excited in this match, I would say. And getting the heels getting whipped, and very back and forth match as well, I would say. And but didn't kind of had a meaning, or like Taylor and Davis was gonna be getting the victory. I think so that Slaughter and Jim, this is the first time Slaughter and Nelson teaming up with each other in a tag team match. And at that time, in the Mid Atlantic area, I'm speaking about. And the match goes into the way where front face lock was put upon Taylor as a crowd starts "Go Terry Go" chants. Sergeant Slaughter back in, but Taylor makes a comeback and tags in Davis. Davis drop kicks Slaughter and goes after Nelson. Davis misses a drop kick on Slaughter, neck breaker by Slaughter, and he only gets a 2 count after that. Nelson backs in on Davis. He continues to beat on Davis. Chin lock by Nelson. Davis kicks his way out of the hole. Nelson stops Davis and tags in Slaughter after that. Slaughter with an elbow off the ropes on Davis. Slaughter whips Davis across the ropes, and Nelson clotheslines him. So there was a point as well where Slaughter's arm was being worked as well, kind of eliminating the opportunity to them being locked upon the Cobra clutch. So that was a little story that was good here there. And Davis across the ropes, and Nelson clotheslines him. Sergeant Slaughter puts Davis in the Cobra clutch finally, and Slaughter and Nelson win this match as they actually Davis actually passed out, and that was this match, guys. And post match, we always know that they end every episode with a kind of a promo segment, so where every other superstar would be speaking about something or the other of their rivalries. And Ivan Koloff joins Bob Caudle for an interview. He talks about the uprising against his country and doesn't understand why others don't just give in to how much better his country is. So he's Russian, so that's kind of a gimmick that he's playing. And Ole and Gene Anderson vowed to take back the tag title, and Ray Stevens took from them that Ray Stevens took from them. And a good closing segment by Anderson. That was a good promo, very good promo. I like, and very serious and very fierce kind of promo. Where kind of I liked, even though he was heel. And so Ole Anderson is also kind of very. Preparing to take back the tag title from Ray Stevens. So if they play out this match like this match and Roddy Piper match at the TV episode, that would be great, man. One hell of a spectacle, I would say, for me. And Ole says that Sandy Scott always threatening fines and suspensions, but he vows that he will get Stevens in the ring. Good laid out, good story, promo that he very correct, and he wants Stevens to give back the title belt, and that was the thing. And this was the matches where the matches where I would say kind of a okay decent manner. The only match I liked about was this the Ray Clipper Stevens versus Tony Russo. So you can check out if you have the WWE Network. So you can certainly check out this episode, and yeah, you can watch it through. It's not bad or something. It's just that it's a decent episode, and Roddy Piper's promo and some here and there, the ending promo of Anderson, that was good. So a little good moments, a little good kind of fun moments here and there, enjoyable moments here and there. But all in all, decent okay show. So that was episode, guys. So I hope you like this review. Do tell me your thoughts about this week's episode, if you have watched it, and what are your thoughts on this series. Do you like it? If you do like it, please like this video, share it with your friends, your 80s wrestling guys, and subscribe to my channel for more like this and wrestling content reviews. I do reviews of all the wrestling current wrestling product, as well as this special episode on a weekly basis. So I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, be safe, stay energetic, and peace.